Control what you can control. You can't control what you can't control. Along with that, y'all may have heard this saying before: control the controllables. Well, I'm here to share with you this. This past week, by the way, I live in Southern California. This past week has been something I have never seen. I've been in Southern California almost my whole entire life. And it all started Tuesday evening when the winds whipped, and I mean ripped and whipped through the city that I live in, to the point where I thought my house was going to explode. I shared with my wife, this is it. House is crumbling. And then, boom, about 10 or 15 minutes later, the power went out. The power went out here in my city for 2 days, at least in my neighborhood. Some were without power for a little bit longer than that. As y'all have been paying attention to the news and you've seen the fires and the windstorms that have ravaged Southern California, there's a message this week that I'd like to deliver to everybody. There's so much goodness that comes through darkness, and it's all in how you start your day, and it's all in how you control your mind. And I say this for a reason, because every day I'm a massive, massive believer that you must, please hear me out on this, you must spend quality time with yourself in the morning to get your head right, get your heart right. And it'll set you up for a wonderful day no matter what happens. There's a reason why I bring this up. Everything kind of unfolded on January 8th, not too long ago. By the way, I'm a big Bob Goff fan, and I'm reading Catching Whimsy right now. It's actually 365 Days of Possibility. It's a devotional every single day. When all of this ravage started to happen, this was the devotional for the day, and it's going to set us up to give you all something to think about this week. And the title of the devotional on January 8th, when I read it in the morning before all of this unfolded, was this: From Sandy Setbacks to a Firm Foundation. From sandy setbacks to a firm foundation. And the basis of this was this. It came, and I'm quoting this because this is according to Bob Goff. He's citing Luke chapter 6, verses 47 to 48. Hear me out on this. Everyone who comes to me and hears my words and does them, he is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. And when a flood arose, the stream broke against that house and could not shake it because it had been built well. Well, my life unfolded this past week. And it's because of my firm foundation. And I ask everyone to think about this. It's my firm morning foundation. What is your firm morning foundation? Because I was tested this past week. And in the middle of this devotional, as he expands upon it, he asks us to do this. List the things that you value most in your life, not cars and boats and savings accounts, but people, places, and character traits you want to be remembered for. Recognize, right? When we recognize things as sand that they are and start building our foundation on something stronger and more trustworthy. There's a lot of sand out there. People are trying to control the sandy moments. You can't control the sandy moments. Life happens. There's a reason why. Is as my power went out and I'm traveling all over the place trying to find internet to at least send emails and do some virtual calls, boom, I was rear-ended as a signal light was out and I stopped for it. As the person behind me hit me at 35 miles an hour, accordion the back of my car, and my car is totaled. And I just sat there in disbelief. Control what you can control. You can't control what you can't control. Here's what I do know. We can respond to things in a positive way. We can respond to things in a negative and mean way and start shouting and barking and doing all of this. I chose to look at the positive. I could control how I could react to it. I couldn't control that I got hit. I can't control the weather. I can't control we had no electricity. But you know what? You can control how y'all react to it. This applies to everybody. Whether you're a sales leader, a sales professional, whether that be in your personal life or your professional life, control what you can control. Control your morning. Capture your morning. Forget about the sandy moments and lay the foundation. Lay the foundation for how you react to things. This was a really challenging week, but there's a lot of freaking goodness that happened from it. A huge shout out to a good friend of mine, dear friend of mine, DB Bedford. He's been on the Selling from the Heart podcast. And I'm probably going to butcher the quote a little bit, but I'm going to paraphrase it because DB said something so powerful on our podcast. He said this: when emotions are high, people throw logic out the window. There's a lot of high emotions this past week, but I did not let my logic get tossed out the window. I want us to think about how do we respond to things. Control what you can control. You can't control if somebody calls you back, chooses to ghost you. You can't control any of this. You can't control sometimes what your company does, but you can control how you react to it. This week, I urge everybody out there, lay the foundation for your morning. Massive believer in this. What you do in the morning, your rhythms, your routines, your rituals, clears your mind and it gets your heart right. And it'll set you up for a wonderful day. I wanted to share a little bit this with you in hopes it inspires you to think a little bit differently about how you approach things. Don't ever take anything for granted. Remove the sandy moments. Lay the foundation. It starts now. I appreciate each and every one of you for following me here at Selling from the Heart, waving the flag on Selling from the Heart, and as we're bringing selling in a post-trust world to the forefront. Everybody matters in raising the bar and eradicating all the empty suits that are out there. Because I do know this. And if you don't believe me, ask your clients. They'd rather connect and do business with a sales professional who sells from the heart as opposed to a sales rep who's an empty suit. Have an amazing week and lay your foundation. Take care. Bye-bye.